Vanakkam, this is Heart2Heart with Ungal RP. When we look back at life, at various points, sometimes during critical points, someone would have helped us. And we are always advised that we should never forget someone who helped us. But sometimes you may not know someone who helped you, or you may not remember their face, but they would have made a difference to your life. They might have even played a role in shaping your life. But you may not know them, or you may not know their face. Now let's take the current pandemic for instance. It has shown how as a society we are interdependent and how each one of us should come together more than ever before to stand together and beat this. If we are all safe today, we need to thank those people who are selflessly serving, right from the doctors to nurses to health workers to police to the sanitation workers to the corporation workers to those who run the community kitchen and to the food delivery boys who are out there in the sun, and to millions of us who are actually forming so many groups and passing on critical information like the availability of bed, oxygen cylinders, essentials and etc. In the current generation, we haven't seen humanity come together and stand as one like what we have done now. And if we actually look back, we wouldn't remember the face of the doctor who's treated us. We wouldn't know the face of the nurse who's actually helped us with the vaccination. We wouldn't know the face of someone who's given us a critical information about the availability of a bed or oxygen cylinder. But we need to thank them for everything. Today's topic is all about thanking the faceless folks who have made an impact in each one of our lives in one way or the other. காலத்தினார் செய்த நன்றி சிறிதெனினும் ஞானத்தின் மானப்பெரிது goes the Tamil குறள், meaning a help in the time of need, even if small, is much bigger than the whole world. To the receiver, at the time of need, it seems like bigger than anything else. Even a small help can bring a big difference. Now, sometimes when we remember the face of the person, it is easy for us to remember and show our gratitude to them at a later time. But what about the faceless folks? For example, when someone swoons on the road, there would be that one hand that would provide the water bottle, which provides the first relief to the person. Later, when we look for the face, it's a face that's lost in the crowd. My husband always remembers the admin staff in his college. While my husband was seeking admission to a college, there was a frantic rush for seats, especially because this was a premier course in a premier college. When the last few seats was up for grabs, there was a huge crowd waiting to submit the request letters. It was the admin staff's job to collect these letters. And as the crowd was huge, he was obviously not going to collect all the letters. My husband's letter was one of those letters that he collected on that day and handed it over to the principal. When my husband received the admission letter, the first thing that he did was to thank the admin staff in his mind, the face of someone whom he doesn't remember. We all would have heard, help that goes around comes back. A help done by one person will definitely come back and will go around. It's like the domino effect. The help keeps passing on, right? And when you help, it makes a big difference by giving positivity, motivation, and sometimes by just putting a smile on someone's face. Time for a Kutti story. This was from ex-CEO of HCL Technologies, Vineet Nair, as told in one of his videos. Vineet, as a boy of just 8-year-old, stepped out of the train at 3 a.m. onto the platform at a station where the train had stopped. Attracted by the fascinating scene outside, the boy was lost in his own thoughts. The train slowly started to move. The boy was jolted out of his dreams when he realized that the train started moving. He started to run in order to catch the train. He was able to catch the sidebars of the train but was unable to pull himself up. He kept running, trying to catch the train, but failed each time. Fear and doubt creep into his mind, considering that the train is actually gathering speed. Seeing the boy losing the battle, there is a vegetable vendor who was there, who actually runs towards the boy, catches him by his shirt collar and throws him inside the last compartment of the train, to be reunited later with his family sleeping unaware. Now, what would have happened if not for the vegetable vendor? Who do we have to thank for giving us one of the greatest CEOs in our time? It is definitely the vegetable vendor. Help someone even if your help is faceless. It definitely makes a big difference. While you reflect on this is me signing off. Ungal RP, Heart to Heart.